Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is ultimately um, kind of work on mental, emotional health and wellness issues, coaching related issues, how to make your life better, how to improve and become the best version of you can be, which is a continual process. There's never a point where there isn't something you can improve, but there also is never a point where there isn't something you could celebrate. So life is kind of in the balance between celebration and improvement, and that is where life is lived. So, if you're looking at kind of ways to be kinder to yourself about mental health, that's a good thing to do. And so, kind of looking at things we need to know about mental health to be kinder to ourselves is kind of the purpose of this particular audio. If you're looking for coaching, life, relationship, business, habit change, all that good stuff, would love to be of assistance to you in that way, kind of connect with you and make sure something good can happen. What are some ways that you can kind of do that? Be kinder to yourself about things. First is find a mental health practice that works for you. And that comes with kind of the second thing. So they kind of go hand in hand, and that is treatment. Find a treatment plan that works for you. And sometimes that means going to multiple practitioners. Sometimes that means going to someone who's really good with medication, and somebody who's really good with talk therapy, and someone who's really good with spiritual aspects. So you might need a team of people to help you balance yourself. And sometimes certain treatments work for a little while and they stop working. And sometimes you need to make a decision that this is a journey. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon and not a sprint. So sometimes you may feel that you are not where you want to be, or that you're beyond the level of help that you think you need, or you should be able to handle this on your own. That's one of the biggest things that I see is people who believe that they're supposed to be um, beyond needing help, or have their life so under control that they don't need any help. And so we're meant to be social creatures, which also implies that we're meant to kind of work through whatever challenges internally we have about receiving help, about getting help, and the stigmas associated with it. And certainly the stigmas are less than they were 20, 30 years ago and beyond, but we still have stigma. You're weird, or you're this, or you're that. And I'm also a person who, in my coaching practice, although I work with people with all different conditions, number one, I don't have the ability to diagnose anyone with a mental health condition. That's a psychiatrist, psychologist job, whereas opposed to coaching is my ability to help you manage the thought processes of changing that, or look at things from a new perspective, shift your perspective, and do all of that. But the one thing I would say is labels can be helpful to help us understand ourselves, but they can also be damaging. So try to live beyond your label. In other words, somebody said you might have this or that, or these symptoms, or whatever, which means you have this or that. But the stigma associated with living down to your label can be more damaging to your mental health than anything. So try to eliminate as many stigmas as possible. Just because something affects you in one way doesn't mean it's going to affect every person that has it the same way. It also doesn't mean that your pathway to recovery can't have more bumps in the road. It also doesn't mean that you can't find an easier way than some people do. So every person's battle with their mental emotional wellness is different. Every person's battle with their mental and emotional wellness is unique to them. It's a journey. It's not, a guaranteed destination. What works for one person may not work for another. The level of progress for one person may not be the same as another, and also your readiness to accept the help you need, or to make the shifts you need to make to own your life might be different than another person's. So you can't get into the compare and contrast around that concept, because if you do, you'll get in your own head in a way that isn't helpful, isn't useful, and isn't good. So that becomes problematic. The next thing is you may need to work with multiple people before you find someone that resonates with you, then gets you. There's many times I will farm people out to other practitioners, partially not because I don't think I can help them, but the way that I would help them isn't a way that's resonating with who they are, or where they want to go, or the way in which they want to receive information. Sometimes people want to work with someone older than me because they think that person has more knowledge. Other people want to work with someone younger because they think I'm over the hill. Some people have gender preferences, race preferences, all sorts of things. And the thing is if you don't believe a person's going to help you, then going to them for any sort of help is kind of pointless because you're preconditioning yourself to believe that I'm not going to get what I need out of this process. So you're priming yourself for failure rather than the possibility of success, and that can be problematic. So hopefully this is helpful. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.